Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your end of January 2021 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So I had hoped to have all of these done sooner, like last week, but my tripod broke, and so and I even before that I was doing other things. So in any case, better late than never. And since we're just really past the midpoint of the month, it really isn't that late. So um, the next full moon is on around the 28th of January, depending on where you live, and it's at 9 degrees of Leo. For those of you Sages who are born between 0 and 9 degrees, this will be likely in your um, ninth house, which is the house of Sag, So anything that is connected to um, religion or philosophy or higher education or long distance travel can be affected. Now, with the full moon, sometimes this is about um, coming to an awareness of something or something coming to fruition. The full moon is a very fertile time, so it can manifest these things. And sometimes they're endings. Sometimes it's like, ending your college. I have said to people, I when I went back to school in my 30s, when I graduated, it was actually in December. So it's not that everybody graduates in June. Um, and whatever this might mean for you, it's an awareness, and this may have a spiritual effect because the full moon is a very psychic time. So what is your life's direction, your philosophy of life, which I kind of connect with life's direction at this point, may be revealed to you um, in a psychic sort of way, just a connection with God. And for the rest of you, this will be in the eighth house, which will be more, and I'm a later degree Sag, so Sun in Sag, so this would be my solar chart. Obviously, if you're Sagittarius rising, um, this is really something that is even on the mundane level, which can come to pass. There's a solar and the natal chart, but for people who have their sun or rising after 9 degrees, this will probably be in your eighth house, and this is like the shadow side coming up for your review. Something comes up. Maybe this is a letting go of a bad habit that has kept you down, which has kept you like not your highest self. So it can be a very transformative full moon for you, purifying, purging difficult emotions. So for you guys, that'll be more emotional because the full moons can be emotional as well. Oh, I like that. I'd like to know what the Three of Wands, what fire sign that relates to, if it does at all. Okay. Pick an additional card because that's a okay, Hangman. Okay. So, if you have been thinking about any kind of project, you may have still some sort of waiting period of some sort, or when I say creative project, it can also be if you're starting a business, maybe there are still some things that have to be done before you can do so. And as we go into the end of the month, I didn't say this for some of these other signs, but we are having a Mercury retrograde on the 30th. And that might be what the Hangman is all about, is kind of like surrendering to the the unfolding of whatever this is. At the heart of the matter is the Three of Wands. I always like to see for Sag to get a Wands if it's going to be in the minor arcana, because this connects to fire energy. And the number three is about creativity and about expansion and abundance. So for Sag, all of these elements are things that we are constantly playing around with in one form or another, where we want our freedom of expression. We want to be able to create and feel that our creations are going out into that wider audience. The Three of Wands is like, um, expanding your territory. So, for instance, let's say you are already an entrepreneur. It's like, okay, I'm selling locally. I'd like to sell statewide, or I'd like to sell nationally. And that can involve travel for some people if they're promoting their product. Um, but in any case, this idea of what is my goal as it relates to expansion in my life. And with wands, it's going to usually involve something creative, but also this can be a number that deals with autonomy. In the past position, we have the Seven of Wands in the reversed position. And there can be this sense that perhaps you feel like others are putting you down a lot. And with the Three of Wands, this almost suggests to me a situation where you're spreading your wings at the same time that you sense that other people are not being supportive of you. And it feels like very overwhelming. And in some cases, I would say, especially if your moon sign, Sag, is in Libra or maybe Pisces, something that makes you apprehensive about facing that kind of opposition, or that somebody not accepting you, that you have a temptation to kind of give in and allow yourself to um, not allow yourself to play small. So look at the people in your life and, think about how you are perceived and how they are treating you, because you may feel overwhelmed by that, and you're trying to, it's almost like clawing your way up into this sense of more autonomy and creative self-expression, and having, some of your hard work, your efforts being rewarded, maybe having success, and then that those critics coming out of the woodwork. It's funny because then here's the higher message, the Nine of Swords. In this deck, some of the more challenging cards are really vividly displayed. And I was talking about the full moon for a lot of us is going to be in the ninth house. I'm sorry, in the eighth house. And this to me is the perfect representation of what the eighth house represents underneath the surface, all of the yucky stuff underneath there. And the shadow, but also the shadows of other people. A lot of times when you become successful, that can be the time when it's very illuminating, like how other people react to it. And or whether it's success or something good happening in your life, and it seems like other people aren't really that thrilled about it, and you're like, wow, it kind of makes you realize that other people may have always been keeping you down, and you really were just so used to that treatment that you didn't stop to think about it. Like, especially if you haven't felt like you've had a lot of success in life, and you start to, maybe you're a late bloomer and you've kind of been um, applying yourself for a while, and seeing those results, and the people that are the naysayers, all of a sudden, you realize that they're naysayers. You just kind of took it for granted. So the anxiety that the Nine of Swords represents is really, as a spiritual message, is something that you may be trying to stave off, that you think that you can escape, but it's one of those things. It's like no matter what you do or don't do, it's still going to be a part of it. So if you dream big and you start to succeed, and people around you who feel threatened by that start to give you a hard time, or are just kind of double down on that, it can feel like very stressful, anxiety producing, because it seems as though it's getting worse, and and maybe it is getting worse because it's becoming more and more blatant. um the bottom line is that even if you were to say, okay, I'm going to give up on my dreams, I'm going to just be what they want me to be so that they don't feel threatened, you're still going to feel a sense of anxiety, because you're going to feel like these dreams that you have within yourself don't have a place to express themselves. So um, don't think that you can escape that kind of anxiety by not doing something. And really, to me, ultimately, as a spiritual message, the Nine of Swords says to me that fear is a phantom. It's something that we try to avoid, every which way, but it doesn't have true reality attached to it. It's just kind of like, what if, what if? And when we refuse to acknowledge that it is a real thing, we find that we kind of pass that test. And there was a book, and this was from a long time ago. I think this was from the late 80s. It was called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Some of you who are older may remember older may remember that book. And it was a new agey type of a book back in those like 87 or something. And I remember being very attracted to that title. I may even check that. I think I even checked it out, because sometimes you have to do things. You don't allow fear to get, have its grip over you, and that you just paralyzes you. You have to, keep going. What crosses you, another three, is the Three of Pentacles. Now, the Three of Pentacles is a card of, for instance, in the workplace, is teamwork. Now, let's take it from that level. Let's say you're in a workplace, or it could be your coworkers, I should say, okay? And let's say with the Three of Wands, you either have started your own business and you're confiding to coworkers who don't like it. Seven of Wands reversed could be those people around you at work. Maybe you are doing a special project, and it has threatened the people around you, who feel like you are rising ahead in the ranks, and they're trying to sabotage you in some way. Um, in another context, if this has nothing to do with the workplace, and just your personal self-development, to me, the Three of Pentacles is about establishing yourself in a very grounded sort of way. Sag has a great capacity for vision, but the vision has to be matched with the practical efforts. And with Pentacles, it's like tangible. This is the Architect's card, so you're laying down the groundwork for whatever it is that you're doing. Even if you're dreaming big, you're saying, okay, now what is the next logical step that I have to take? Sometimes people are really great at envisioning things, but they're not really great at executing them. And that can be where you feel that stumbling block. So being able to ground your vision or your creative juices that are flowing into something tangible, into tangible steps, is very important. And maybe you're finding that is what is keeping you. This is a workplace situation where you feel like your coworkers are trying to sabotage you. Um, it's best to just do your work and not to allow anybody to, don't, give these people access to your um, inner sanctum, if you will. And it's funny that I said just do the work, because I got, as what's coming in is the Son of Pentacles, coming in, doing your job, and that's what you're there for. Son of Pentacles is a Knight of Pentacles. This is the workhorse kind of a card. Now, in some cases, this may be somebody who has a mission. They just want to amass money, because in your case, if you have a day job and you're not really invested emotionally in it, but you have this creative dream or this entrepreneurial dream, you may be utilizing your day job as just a platform to gain as much financial security as possible, so that you can do what you came here to do. And in that case, um, it just means going into work and not allowing the Seven of Wands in reverse type of energy to affect you. It's like duck off a water's back. It's a duck off a water's back, water off a duck's back. Oh gosh. And that sort of thing. And just kind of like not allowing anybody else to distract you from your goals. It would have been great if I would have gotten the Chariot card, because that really illustrates it so well. And then this is the outcome card that I got, and I did pick an additional card because I don't like to, do that for this type of reading, but it's the Daughter of Cups in reverse, which is the um, Page of Cups in reverse. So I feel like whatever this new thing that you're involved with, it's going to take time. It's not something, maybe the timing is off, Mercury retrograde, whatever is going on. You have to be patient for this. And this is also, if you're trying to conceive a child, the Three of Pentacles may indicate, in the challenge position, may indicate that you're having difficulty with that. It may be that the timing is off. Maybe there are other things that are going on that are taking precedence over that. And I got, as the clarification card, the Hangman. So yes, the Hangman can indicate kind of this holding, not a holding pattern, although sometimes it can be, but a waiting period. But also, this can be about needing to, what's that term? Not sacrifice. This is a card of sacrifice, but surrender to your current situation. And what it means is not to give up on it, but to let go of expectations. And this is when people want something really badly, they can create a blockage for themselves, because they can't see anything else but that, and they're very impatient to make it happen. So when you let go, you give the universe and you give yourself some breathing room, and allowing things to unfold as they are meant to unfold, and not just kind of demanding that it happen now. So you just say, you know what, I'm willing to wait, because I know that it will unfold when it's supposed to. And in the meantime, I'm going to go about my business. I'm going to work, keep my nose to the grindstone. Okay? All right, that's what I have for you, Sag. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you have a great ending to January. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. I'm at RainaMoonAstrology.com. Take care. Bye.